Welcome back to Cosmoholics Anonymous. I am your... What's going on here? Okay, I am your favorite girl, Bo Vintage, and welcome back to BOETALKS, where I give your lives a lift. So, let's get right on into it. I'm not going to do... Whatever, let's just get into it. Hey, so I've been working in a store for almost 2 years now, and this is also where I met my then really close, almost best friend. One night, the same best friend from work and a close friend from outside of work both wanted me to go to a party. The two did not know each other, but I thought, why not all go together? From the day I introduced them, I have felt left outside as they're now basically besties. Recently, my best friend from work got the outside of work friend a job at our workplace without telling me, and she was also made manager. It's not that I'm jealous, it's more that I'm hurt that they spend every day together and never inform me when they are meeting up or hide the fact that they are ever together. I feel like she does not care about my friendship with her and has also given the other girl a lot of hours and even made her supervisor of the store, which leaves me with hardly any hours. I have spoken to her about the issue, but it seems as if though she does not see the problem. I am not sure if I meant to fight for the friendship with both friends or move on and find a new job and new friends. May. Alright, May. Hey, May. I think the main issue here is that it's starting to fuck with your money, so yeah, I would probably suggest that you get a new job, even though I don't find that fair because one, you've been there first, so seniority should definitely play a role in how many hours you're getting, but because she's made the new or your other best friend's supervisor and that's cutting into your money and you've addressed the situation and she's kind of brushing you off, it's almost as if you don't have a choice but to find a new job and new friends. It kind of sucks that they're both situations are happening in one. You should be able to all three just get along and be in the same like circle and just hang out as three best friends, but you shouldn't have to look for new friends and a new job all at the same time. But it's like, why should I beg you for your friendship? You know what I mean? It's either we're friends or we're not. I'm not going to plead with you and beg with you to be my friend, and like, you know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't have to do that. So if it's affecting you to the point where your hours have been cut a lot, I would definitely say, yeah, you start looking for a new job. Don't quit just yet. Tolerate the girls for however long you have to, and then keep it pushing. So she actually gave me an update, and it says, by the way, since the last email, I have had an argument with the friend slash manager, so we don't talk for now. And the other girl is sneak dissing, throwing shade on Twitter. How old are these bitches? Like, wait. But I still want to hear what you say because I still got to work with them. Okay, so now it's for sure. You just got to look for a new job, because if you're getting in fights with, that's the thing about working with your friends. Like, especially if your friend is the manager and y'all get in a fight, like, you know bitches are petty, they're gonna do some dumb shit. She is gonna fuck with your hours and fuck with your money because she basically holds the upper hand. If she doesn't want to give you hours, she doesn't have to because she's a manager. In fact, she can go ahead and hire another person other than the best friend and fuck you over even more. So you do want to remove yourself from this situation as soon as possible. She messaged me again and she said, so sorry, been 2 weeks and we have not spoken. Blocked each other on WhatsApp, but she still watched all my Snapchats. Today, the main boss asked me to be manager of another store in a different area. This is good for me. However, I don't feel like I want to leave my current store behind without letting her know how I feel like she dropped me for someone else she met through me. Do I move stores without saying anything to her and make that money, or tell her how I feel and save the friendship that's already been lost? Girl, you already answered your question. No. Go get your money, honey. Don't worry about nobody else. Like, especially if you're at an age where you need to be taking care of yourself, and you are taking care of yourself, and you're the only, like, if you're not like some teenager working some part-time job, fuck the friends, honey. You need to get your money, get your Skrilla, get your guap, get your moolah. and move on. Go to the new store and start over. This is a blessing. Like, it's a blessing that they offered you a new position at a new store, especially a higher position. Like, you deserve it kind of thing. So you know what? Shout out to God. And be happy about it. Like, don't even say anything to them. This is like turning a new page in your book, new chapter, starting a new chapter. You get to start over. You're gonna go to the new store, you're gonna make friends there, and hopefully you just learn from the situation that your friends, meshing your friends doesn't always work out.
In West Philadelphia,
Born and raised on the playground is where I spend most of my days. So May, I hope that it all works out for you in the end. I think it will, especially because you offered a new position. You deserve it, and you deserve better friends than the ones that you had. Straight up. I hope they watch this. And the next question is from AA. This better not be no Pretty Little Liar shit. You better not try to come kill me, honey, because I hit with the shits, A. I will pepper spray you. Okay. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I'm going through this weird phase where I don't really like who I'm becoming, and I don't really know who I am. I'm having a hard time making friends because I don't know how to talk to people, because I can't even figure out who I am or how I want to act. In my mind, I feel so interesting and deep, but on the outside, I'm just quiet and way too shy and driving myself crazy. I don't know my own personality, and it's a crazy feeling since I'm 17 years old. How do I figure myself out, and how do I become someone who I would want to be? Does this make sense? LOL. Please give me some advice. I'm not crazy. I think in this particular situation, if you are socially awkward, it will be a little bit hard for you to do, but at the end of the day, if you really want to make friends, you will. Even I know this might be weird, but like, even if you like make friends on like a dating site, but because there are people that do that, like there's people that, but that's weird. Like, I don't know if I could do that. Anyway, you could try it. I don't know, maybe a lot of people look at online websites like that like different, but you could try Plenty of Fish and just make friends and not go on there for the dating purposes. And like, you can put in your bio that you're just seeking friendship and blah blah blah, and obviously it doesn't have to be with the opposite sex, it can be with the same sex. Like, making friends is hard, especially at this age. Like, by 17 is like, okay, you should have your group of set friends, but it's not always like that. Like, for me, when I was 17, I had my group of friends, but like, how many of them do I talk to now? Like, irrelevant. And your other question is kind of hard to answer, because you asked me, how do I become someone who I want to be? The only person that you should want to be is yourself. And I know that might sound like, okay, but I just told you I don't know who the hell I is, so what are you really telling me to do? You have to just be yourself. Honestly, this is a weird question, because you shouldn't be acting any kind of way. You should just be normal, or whatever your normal is. Like, everybody's normal is obviously different, but you should just be yourself. I don't really know how to tell you how to act. I think that you should just be acting like yourself, or being yourself. That's the only person you can be, and that's the only person you can act like. I mean, you can idolize a million people, and somebody can be your favorite. Like, one of my favorite people is Audrey Hepburn, but I could never be Audrey Hepburn. She's just too fabulous for me to be. If I could be her, I would, but I'm not Audrey Hepburn. And so the only person I know how to be, as much as I love Audrey, is Bo Vintage, honey, and that's all I can do, and that's all I can be. And so my only advice to you is to just be who you are. If you feel like you're interesting and deep, then you're not just feeling like you're interesting and deep, you are interesting and deep. And maybe you just need to find somebody else that you can connect with on that level of how you feel, because that person will likely bring out more of you, and maybe that's what you're missing, somebody else to bring out the side of you that is kind of buried inside you. So I really don't know how to tell you, so I'm not gonna front and be here like, okay, this is how you should act and da 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 da. I'm not gonna do that, because I really truly believe that you should just be yourself. And it's such a cliche thing to say, but it's the truth. Like, there's only one you. There's nobody else on this earth that has your exact DNA, and so you should just be who you are. If you're quirky, be quirky. If you're weird, be the weirdo that you are, but just be yourself. However you feel. If you feel like wearing green lipstick and red eyeshadow, freaking do it. Like, just do what you feel like when you feel like doing it, and eventually you'll start to understand yourself more. As humans, the fact is that we're never truly satisfied, and so you could do a whole bunch of soul searching and you could love yourself to death, but at the end of the day, you're always going to find something that you're not happy about or that you're not satisfied with. And so I think that you should just take it day by day, and eventually you'll figure it out. You already know if what I'm saying to you, because you asked me if what you said makes sense, girl. I don't know what I said just makes sense, but if you want to talk in depth, like, tell me. So that I should have asked you before to tell me more, because then I would have been able to give you better advice, but I didn't, and it's too late. So so Pretty Little Liars, I hope that you just embrace who you are and just realize that there's only one you, and that is all you can be. Don't try to be anybody else. I don't even think you really need to figure out who you are, because you already are that person. And I think you just need to free. I think you're thinking too deeply about the situation. There we go. You're putting too much thought into this. Like, when it comes to being you, you don't have to think about it. You just need to just do you. Like, literally do you. Boo boo. You wake up every single morning and you're you, and that's all you're gonna do, and that's all you can be. I think that you need to stop thinking about it so much. When you stop thinking about it, you'll just be able to be. So that is my advice to you. You're putting way too much thought into it. I think you just need to relax. That's all I can say to you, Pretty Little Liars, okay? Okay. I'm Marie, and a 17-year-old, 18 in 2 months, who will be graduating high school this year. I would like to go to college or university, but I'm unsure of what I want to pursue. One thing I'd like to do is take a year break from school. I love so many things that it's so difficult to choose one to pursue. My other issue is being broke. I don't want to go to college and get a useless degree and wind up broke and struggling to make ends meet. I also don't want to stick at a dead-end job. Do you have any advice for me and maybe some career suggestions? As far as taking a year off from school, like, I'm not going to tell you not to do it, but just understand that that year that you take off can easily turn into 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, never. Like, it could turn into never going, okay? So just keep in mind that that 1 year off can turn into a very long time. It can turn into just never going back to school. So the other thing too is, you said that you love so many things and it's hard for you to choose one to pursue. If that's the case, if it's you love a lot of things, it's whichever one you're best at this point. If you are best at cooking, go to school for cooking. If you're best at art, go to school for graphic design. Like, you might love something but you're not talented in it, and so you have to kind of just put your talent to work and choose whichever one you're most talented in. Don't just choose one that you love, because talent, passion, and hard work will take you the furthest. But if you just have passion for something and you're not that great at it, then you're not going to be the best at it. So that's kind of for you to decide. I can't really suggest anything. Like, if you're not ready to go to school, don't waste the money and go. I think that's common sense. A lot of times it's our parents that are pushing us to go to school, and they're pissed or they're disappointed when you tell them you want to take a year off. But ultimately, it's your life and your decisions. Parents try to live vicariously through their kids. They didn't get to do this and that when they were growing up, so they want you to do this, and they want you to go to school to become a doctor and blah, 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 because they want the best for you. But at the end of the day, if you're not passionate or you don't like blood, like, you're not about to become a surgeon, like, it's just not gonna happen. So parents can fall back and let their kids do what they want to do. At the end of the day, it's you that's gonna learn the lesson, or you're gonna become really successful. Who knows? You might win the fucking lottery and you won't even have to go to school. So anything is, holy fuck.
Hey, don't show the porno.
I'm not, my tit, like, I think it's just dry, like.
Don't show your titties.
Oh my god, it's horrible. I'm not shooting a porno, my tit's not even on camera, even if I could stand on my tippy toes.
Little ass. Short ass.
So go to school for something that you can excel in. If you can't excel in it, or if you even have the slightest doubt that you won't be able to excel above your peers, then don't enter into that program. Because the last thing you need to do is I know a lot of people say that there are no jobs right now. So they end up going to school, they get their degree, and then they end up working at fucking McDonald's or the furniture warehouse selling couches. Like, that's why school is such a sticky. I don't even like talking about these things because I don't want anybody to come back out here and tell me, you told me not to go to school, my life's a wreck. Like, no, I'm not telling you not to go to school. I'm telling you, matter of fact, go to school, honey. Go to school. If you want to take a year off, that's completely up to you, but don't let that year turn into never. Like, you know what I mean? Even me, I still want to go to school. I will go to school. I wasn't ready, and that's the thing too. If you're not ready, it doesn't make sense to go. So right out of high school, that's when you're expected to go to school. But years ago, in the 90s, there was something called grade 13, and that was the year they took it out. I don't know why. I don't know if it was like that in America, but in Canada we had K to 8, and then high school was 9 to 13. Now it's only 9 to 12, and that changes the school system completely. And so taking out year 13 kind of fucked over a lot of us, because when it came to, that was basically the year off that we were taking. And once I was in high school, there was no more grade 13, so I didn't have a year to think about all my options or to decide what I wanted to do. You're kind of just shoved into college or university, or we're trained to think that right after high school we have to go to college or university, but that's not the case. I mean, a lot of people never even make it to college and they're very successful, but if you're not that entrepreneur type, then you can't really do that. Or if you're not like some super genius that freaking can invent a new cell phone or some weird shit like that, like your better bet is to go to school and kill time. But if you are taking like student loans and financial aid, do not take the money and use it for things other than school. Because I know a lot of people will like take out the loan and buy cars, and then they're fucked when it's time to pay for books, because books are expensive as fuck. If y'all know, like, books are like $300. A lot of courses have very expensive books, so that's why people kind of try to go on Kijiji and buy them secondhand. But people do a lot of crazy shit with the money, especially if you only have one parent. If one of your parents are deceased, or if you're in a single parent household, or if you apply for your financial aid properly for school, you'll get a shitload of money. But that's not free money. Like, that's money that has to be paid back. So be careful with whatever you choose to do, because that's the one way that even if you don't end up at a dead-end job, you're going to be paying off your student loans for life, and who the hell wants that? I can tell you right now, not a soul. As far as career suggestions go, no, I don't have any career suggestions for you, simply because I don't really know you and I don't know what you're good at and what you like. But definitely take the path that you feel most comfortable in. If you, like I said, if you like to cook and you're good at it, go to school for cooking or baking, and then do like and then do a business course so that you can start your own business if that's the kind of person you are. There's literally a course for anything you could think of, and if you think there's not a course for it, Google it, and I'm sure you'll find that there's courses for stuff. So hopefully you figure it out. But like I said, I'm not going to tell you to not go to school or to not take your year off, but just try not to take too long to make a decision in terms of going back. Because once you start, obviously if you're not in school, if you're taking a year off, it's to work and make money. Hopefully you save the money and use it to pay for school. That way you're not burdened with a whole bunch of student loans to pay back. Try to save as much money as you can, and don't just be living check to check. Just get a job, save your money, save your coins, and then move on. and go to
Report
school.
all of that
You
shit
have
they
to go
find
to
out.
school. Okay? Okay. My titty is so itchy. Oh Lord. I think every other week will be relationship only, and because that's mostly the questions that I'm getting at this point. So every other week will be relationship only, and then these questions will be more life related. But I don't know what's gonna. I didn't read this email yet, so we'll see. I just picked my wedgie. We'll see what's going on in this email, but I think it's relationship. Anyway. Hey Bo, so I'm in high school and it's my first year at this school. I met a guy who my friend had introduced me to and is a well-known fuckboy, and I knew because a lot of people warned me. Being new, I decided to talk to him. He was really sweet and led me on for a little while and eventually had invited me over. I didn't think much of it. I went over and nothing too serious happened, which I think wasn't what he had planned. We stopped talking for a bit and slowly started talking a while after. He asked me to come over again. Stupid me went over and well, we had sex. And he was Jesus God Almighty, Lado. He was my first. So he got what he wanted from me and has now blocked me on everything. And you know what's hard seeing him around given we go to the same school. My question was or is, how do I get over this guy? I'm not even gonna sugarcoat this, babe. Like, when it comes to your first, it's gonna be a long time before you get over him. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it and tell you, like, I don't know how to tell you to get over him other than to occupy yourself doing activities that you would normally do. Just keep busy as much as you can. But when it comes to your first, you're never gonna forget their name. They're just embedded in your freaking brain forever, and it's nothing you get rid of, but you will get over the situation. So I don't know how long it's gonna take you to get over the situation because like everybody's different, but don't try to speak to him. Don't try to communicate with him at all. If you see him, just act like he's not even there. Like if it's just him at one end of the hallway and you at the other end of the hallway and you have to pass him, just walk past him. You don't have to stare him down. Well, I would stare him down. I would be like, you ain't shit. But you don't have to do none of that. Like, just act like he doesn't exist. I can't believe this. This is, I mean, like, this doesn't sound like you're in like the 9th grade. This sounds like you switched schools. But if you are just in the 9th grade, boo-boo. No more sex, please. Oh my gosh, like, the 9th grade is not where it's at. Like, no, we don't do that. You're way too young. Honestly, you guys, when it comes to high school and becoming sexually active and like just deflowering, getting your cherry pop, like, don't do it. I wish I had waited. I was 16 when it happened, and I wish I waited till, and you know what's crazy? When I went into high school, because of my background and how I grew up, I was so like, no sex before marriage. I was preaching it down, okay? No sex before marriage. That was me. I was just like, no, you was nasty. Because I went to high school with my friend from elementary school. It was only us two, and as soon as she got to high school, she kind of broke out and was just being a little bad girl, and I was just like, I had to distance myself from her because I was just like, whoa, like, you was doing too much, honey. And I just wasn't like that, and so it took me 2 years into high school to actually start. It's not like I was being bad, but I finally had started to talk to somebody, and I felt like I wanted to have sex with them, so I did. But for all you young girls watching this, if you're in high school, just wait. Like, honestly, the dick ain't that serious. Like, you can wait for it. It's not that serious to be doing it at 16 and 17. Like, honestly, if I could have, I'm 20, I'll be 24 in a couple of months. I wish I was a 24-year-old virgin, honey. Like, I really wish I was. Because once you have sex with one person, it kind of just opens up a whole can of worms. Like, and the other thing too is you don't want to just have sex with anybody. You want to lose your virginity to somebody that's also a virgin. If I could have waited till my freaking till marriage, till my wedding day, I freaking would have. Like, I don't know why. It's just, the devil is a liar, honey. He is a liar. So yeah, like, he's actually a fucking boy. Like, what did I do to you for you to be blocking me? I gave you the cookie and now you're about to block me? No, I'm coming to your house and I'm gonna throw a rock through your window. No, don't do that, because you're not about to disrespect me. Like, what? I'm not gonna, you see me, you're young, so you know, you live and you learn. I'm not gonna be like, you knew better, because whatever, you know now, and that's all that matters. It won't happen to you again, hopefully. Honestly, you just need to occupy your time with other things and not worry about him and what he's doing, because I can't believe he blocked you. Like, for what? What did you block me for? And that's probably the things that you're thinking, but honestly, don't put too much thought or energy into it, because it's not going to change anything. Nothing is going to come out of this other than the fact that he's annoying. So he probably will try to talk to you again, but I really hope that I hope he's not the type of guy that's gonna like be like, yeah, I fucked her, like tell everybody, because that just sucks, especially because it's a new school. But I guess you really should have just listened to the people, because they told you he was a fuck boy. I'm not, like I said, when it comes to your first, you'll get over it. You'll just take, it might take a little while. Okay? A little while. But everybody's different, so don't listen to me, because I really don't know you. Anyway, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say her name or not, so we just gonna call her A 2.0, because her name also starts with the A. Yeah. I really hope that you do end up getting over him, and I just hope that you, I don't know, pick up a new activity, pick up a new hobby, start painting on canvas, like do anything, sit on YouTube and watch videos all day, like just get your mind off of this person. But when it comes to, and this is something I addressed in my last video, like sex is a spiritual, a soul, it's more than just physical. And the reason why it's going to take so long for you to get over this person is because, not only because he's the first person to enter inside your vajayjay, but because he's the first person that you've allowed to connect with your soul. And that's why sex is such a big deal. You really can't just be fucking anybody and everybody, because there are some evil people out there that if you let them inside you, they is a part of you forever. That evil soul is a part of your clean soul forever. So don't be having sex with everybody and anybody. Don't be having sex with fuckboys. And like I said, I can't sugarcoat it. You're gonna take a while to get over this person. The only way I know how to get, like, time heals all, and that's why when it comes to advising how to get over somebody, or it's hard for me to do, and all I can tell you is to occupy your time and not think about them, and eventually they won't be a thought anymore. So, well, he still might be a thought, but he ain't gonna be a thought. You feel me? Okay. Hey Bo, first of all, I want to let you know you're one of my favorite YouTubers. Oh, thank you. Ever. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I appreciate your creativity and originality. Oh my god, this is so nice. And I hope to see you. Probably like, this bitch wrote this herself. I really didn't, you guys. I really hope to see you go far on YouTube and in real life. My problem is I'm having a really hard time in school with my previous relationship. I'm a high school sophomore, that's grade 10. And I'm in the IB program, which is a fancy name for all my classes are AP times 1,000, and I'm having a really hard time keeping my grades up, and I'm also struggling to stay motivated and not give up and keep going. And I really don't know what to do, because I want to go far in life, but this is a run-on sentence, but I'm having a hard time pushing myself to get to where I want to be. Also, I'm having a hard time getting over my ex. I guess you can call her my first love, but she didn't really treat me right, so I don't know. Is this a boy? Hold on. She always made me feel low about myself and like I was unworthy of her, but for some reason I still loved her and I miss her now. I don't know what to do because I know I deserve better and I'm ready to move on, but I'm having a hard time not lurking on her Tumblr and letting go of her. Mind you, we've been broken up for about a year now, but I still think about her a lot. And so my question is, how do I get over and let go of my ex for good? And do you have any tips on how to get my grades up and stay motivated? Your favorite subscriber. Am I supposed to say your name, boo-boo? We're just gonna call her Kay. Ooh, okay, so it's not a boy. Okay, so when it comes to staying motivated and keeping your grades up, I wasn't the best at that. Like, when I first got to high school, for the first 2 years, which was grade 9, grade 10, I was definitely a really good student, but I tend to get distracted. I do. But I was a really good student, but then once the high school drama started happening and bitches was being petty and niggas was being stupid, like, that's when I kind of started to lose a desire for school and I started to hate school. Like, I went from somebody that hated PA days. I hated PA days, you guys. And that's like weird because who hates PA days? It's a day off. Like, you don't have to go to school. You ain't got to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. Like, PA days are the bomb.com. But I went from hating PA days to wishing every day was a PA day because high school was such a trip. Like, I just didn't want to be there after. Like, once I got to grade 10, I was over this shit. I was just like, this is so annoying. I hated everybody. Like, I want to kill everybody. Like, it was just, I just hated it. And so I'm not really the best person to ask how to stay motivated and keep your grades up. But what I will say is that you need to focus on the bigger goal. This is the fastest 4 years of your life. It's gonna go by like that. You probably noticed that already by the first 2 years that, or you're in your sophomore, so you're in your second year, but the first year probably went by so quickly. Like, it's literally like a blink of an eye. And when you're in high school, you don't realize how fast it's going, but by the time you get to grade 12, you're gonna be like, where did my 3 years go? Like, where did the last 3 years go? Well, 4, but where did the last 3 years go? Like, what happened in grade 9, 10, 11? I don't even remember. And so the thing about high school is it's good that it finishes so fast, even though it kind of feels dragged out while you're in there. But the best thing to do is just keep your eyes on the prize and focus on the bigger goal at hand. If you are in the IB program, that's amazing. Like, if you're in the IB program and you want to stay in the IB program and get a scholarship to university and not have to take out, like, think about the positive things. Like, you're not going to have to take out a student loan, you're going to get a scholarship, or you will be more likely to get grants that you're not going to have to pay back, because a grant is not student loans. Like, you have to think about those things if you want to be successful in life and you want to be able to make enough money to where you could take care of your family and then some. Like, then you have to keep your eyes on the prize, and that is how you should stay motivated. It's hard to stay motivated when there's other things going on around you, when there's drama, when you're dealing with your exes, like, and especially if this is somebody that you see constantly because you go to the same school. It's hard to keep focused, but you have to just fight through it and push through it and
that would be like
think about the bigger goal at hand. Because if you don't, the minute that you stop thinking about how much you want what you want in the future, that's when everything is going to kind of fall to shit. So when I started high school, I wanted to be a dental specialist, which would basically be an orthodontist or something along those lines. And then once I got to biology, I realized it wasn't gonna work out like that. I realized your girl wasn't about to be no dentist specialist because I didn't have the desire or the drive, and I hated my motherfucking teacher. Fuck you, Mr. Rowe. If you're seeing this, fuck you and your high ass pants. You's a bitch. Like, anyway.
Rolling up your sleeves on that bitch.
I realized that I wasn't going to, that wasn't happening for me. And I think that's the first time that I got discouraged, and then it kind of just went downhill from there. Like, when you realize that you can't achieve what you want to achieve, because I just didn't understand biology. Like, I'm not like, no, we don't do biology. I was really good at chemistry though. Anyway, yeah, so because I was good at chemistry, I decided that I would become a crystal meth maker. And then I basically teamed up with this man. His name is
Walter White.
So I basically teamed up with this guy named Walter White, and he showed me how to make crystal meth. And we started making crystal meth in a trailer, but then we realized that we needed to move to bigger facilities. So then we ended up hooking up with this Spanish guy. His name, I don't remember his name, but he owns a bunch of chicken food shops called Pollo Loco or something like this.
Polo Loco.
Is that what the, no, that's not what the chicken.
El Polo Loco.
Is it? Oh, yeah, so.
No, it was a chicken place.
Yeah, the chicken.
And he was a black guy.
Yeah, he's a black Spanish guy. I'm joking, you guys. I never made crystal meth, but I was really good at chemistry, so.
Jesse Pinkman.
Shout out
Bitch.
Jesse Pinkman, bitch. Okay, I'm talking too much shit, but basically, keep your eyes on the prize, and that's the only way that you could remain focused. I stopped thinking about how much I wanted to be an orthodontist, and that's basically when high school fell to shit because I was dealing with drama and everybody around me. I wasn't able to get high school done how I wanted to get high school done, and so it'll fly by if you let it. I mean, you just have to think about all the pretty shit you want. Like, I wish I knew what Louboutins were when I was in high school, because if I did, I would definitely be an orthodontist. I would be in school right now to be an orthodontist if I knew what Louboutins were, because I would have had my eye on that prize, but I didn't, and so now I just do YouTube, you know, no big deal. Anyway, when it comes to getting over your ex, the advice that I give when it comes to exes is going to be redundant as a motherfucker, because time heals all wounds. And the only way to get over somebody is time. Yes, I'm going to tell you to occupy yourself and stay busy so you're not thinking about the person, but it's the times when you're not busy, like the times when you're up in your bed at 2 o'clock in the morning scrolling, is when you're going to be thinking about somebody like that. Like, as much as you stay occupied, there's still going to be times of the day that you're thinking about this person, but you have to find some type of closure, whether it's one last whether it's a conversation, like, I don't know how things ended or whatever. So if things ended badly and you never got to have one conversation where you get to say how you feel and you just have things sitting on your chest, that's when it's going to take super long to get over somebody. But if you didn't end on a bad note and you're just still kind of like, it's been a year, I don't know how to get over this person because I just love them so much, you just have to get over them. I'm not going to say to get a rebound, because a rebound is somebody that you're using. You want to find somebody that you genuinely like and want to spend time with and learn more about, and that person can help you to get over your ex without knowing, but not just like, I'm talking to you so that I'm not thinking about this person. It is easier to find somebody to talk to, even if it's just a friend. Like, you just need to talk, have somebody else fill that void for the time being, and don't let the ex dwindle in your mind. But there's no real way to get over somebody. You have to just let it happen. It will happen naturally. I totally forgot that you said that she made you feel low. Fuck this bitch. Fuck her.
Fuck her.
Fuck her. You don't need this hoe. Why do you miss somebody that was negative? A big problem with abusive relationships. If she made you feel like you were unworthy of her, then she probably had a relationship before you where somebody was making her feel unworthy, whether it be a family member like her mom or her dad, or an ex. Somebody has made her feel like she was unworthy of them, and that's the behavior that she's showing you. This is somebody that was clearly hurting before they hurt you. But remember, in my last video, I said that everybody needs to know their self-worth. You can't be going around not knowing your self-worth, because you will end up in the same situations over and over and over and over and over again and not understand why. So you definitely need to just look inside yourself, tell yourself that you're better than who your ex was making you feel like you were, and try to just make her void. Like, you can't just get over somebody overnight. It doesn't happen like that, especially after spending a certain amount of time with them. Like you said, I don't know how long you guys were together for, but you guys have been broken up for a year. A year is a long time, but remember, my hardest breakup was a 2-year fiasco for me. Then again, there was the friends with benefits thing involved, so that's why it took so long. But everybody's different, and there's no, you're not wrong to miss her, and you're not wrong to still love her, because that's just how it happens. Especially in abusive relationships, we still want that acceptance from our abuser. I feel like abusive relationships are the hardest to get over, and a lot of people and a lot of women and some men who are in abusive relationships don't know how to let go of that person, or how to stop wanting that person's love, even though their love was hurting you to begin with. So just try to stay positive. Try to not necessarily block her out of your mind, but just make it so that you're constantly occupied. But as far as school goes, honey bunny, keep your eye on the prize. Focus, 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 and it'll be over sooner than you know it. Do not let your relationship or whatever is going on around you affect your grades and your future, because this is legit your future. Not a lot of people are blessed with a brain, okay? Not a lot of people have a brain that can do what you're doing, or that can excel to the level to be in the IB program. Not a lot of people can do it. Not a lot of people can handle it. You might feel overwhelmed, but just know that what you're doing is for a bigger purpose and a bigger reason. So I hope that helps. I love you all. Thank you so much for subscribing to me. You guys mean the freaking world to me. Oh, duh. If you want to be in the next Girl Talk segment, next week will definitely be relationships only. I do have a lot of the slots are filled. I probably only have room for for next week's episode. There's probably only room for 1 or 2 more questions, maybe. I'm not even sure, because I haven't read the emails. But even if you don't get featured in next week's episode, I'll feature you in the next episode, or
next episode,
whenever. I will get to your question. I do reply to the emails before I post them, and I let you know which segment or when you will be featured. If I feature you, sorry, but I literally tried to put everybody's question. If you've emailed me already, within the last week, and you haven't been featured, it's probably because you sent me a relationship question, which will be for next week's episode. Or that's basically that. If you want to be featured, just hit me up, cosmoholicsanonymous@gmail.com, and put in your subject box BOETALKS, BOE space talks. I love you all, and I will see you in my next video, which I don't know when it will be, but it will be in the week. I love you all.